In the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful, who is the King of kings and Lord of lords, who is omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient. May all the blessings and bounties be on the holy soul of Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is the source of knowledge, wisdom, and sagacity. Listeners and viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hope you all are enjoying the last days of the winter and keeping good with your life. In Islamic State, ulama and the scholars, they are believed to be respectable people, and they have a very towering personalities, and they are considered the towering figures in the society. The same is true in Pakistan, but at the same time in Pakistani society, ulama and scholars, they have to face criticism, and there is a vast majority who think that these ulama, these scholars are not updated, and they are not equipped to face the modern challenges. And even so much so, some people believe that they are the hurdle in the way of development, in the way of scientific development, and in the way to modernity. How true it is, how false it is, this is not the theme of the talk. Rather, I want your attention toward another side of the aspect, and that is a bit different thing, that if we conduct a study to develop a profile of the ulama, to develop a profile of the scholars at grassroots level in our villages, cities, town, at mohalla level, where we have countless madaris, masajid, and other religious institutes, we study and we find this thing, that most of our ulama, most of our scholars, and most of our aima who are serving in the masjid, in the mosque, they come from the low income group. They come from the downtrodden part of the society. They come from the lower socio-economic classes. And these aima and ulama, usually they belong to two kind of backgrounds. One is the lower socio-economic groups, and other is the middle class. So middle class as well as the lower social classes, they produce ulama, they produce scholars. In the upper social classes, we have very rare and fewer examples that they also prefer to come to this field of human service. What is happening in our society, that usually the people who belong to lower classes, lower socio-economic classes, where they have existential threat, where poverty is dancing everywhere, usually they put their children to the madaris. Why? Because their education is free. Their children seek education in Quran, in Sunnah, in Hadith, in Fiqh as well, and finally they become ulama, they become scholar, and they start serving in different institutes, in different religious institutes. When we come to the middle classes, here we have some examples, but again, it is not in fashion, it is not common to put your children to seek religious education. What is the attitude, that if a boy, a girl is intelligent, genius at home, we prefer for him or her to be a doctor, to be an engineer, to go for the competitive examinations, and usually we push and motivate our children for that field. And if a boy or girl at home is having low intelligence, low IQ level with average intelligence level, we prefer business, trade, these kind of things for our children. And the one who is with very low IQ, not good for studies, not good for business, not good for good jobs, for high profile jobs, we prefer religious education, education of the madrasa, of the seminary for these children. So this is the attitude, that what kind of people we are putting in madaris, what kind of students, what kind of children, what kind of stuff we are putting in the madaris to be a scholar, to be an imam, and to guide the people regarding their religious matters and religious affairs. So the criticism that is common in the public, that ulama are not updated, they are orthodox, they are conventional, and they are failing to guide the nation in the right direction. So question arises, what kind of stuff we are preparing to be the custodian of the religion in future? Usually, the students, the girls, the boys with low IQ level, with minimum abilities, with minimum qualities, and usually they are coming from the downtrodden section of the society. What about the high profile people? What about the elite class? And what about the upper classes? They never ever think about this. In a village, in a town, where a Chaudhry is a leader, he is the landlord, he holds most of the agricultural land. His boy, his girl, they study in Harvard, in Oxford, in these kind of other institutes. They never prefer their children to be a scholar, to be an alim, and to serve Quran, and to serve hadith, and to serve in this field of human service. They never go for this. Similarly, in our elite class, in our business class, our traders, they never ever prefer these things for the children. Look, if you ask yourself, if I ask myself, if I look around in my family, if you look around in your family, we have doctors, we have engineers, we have lawyers, we have professors, we have police officers, we have army officers, but unfortunately there is no scholar, there is no alim in my family. And I suppose, rather I believe, that you all may not be having any alim, any scholar in your family. And we don't aspire for these things. We don't think on these lines that let's my child become a scholar, let's my girl become a scholar, to serve Quran, to serve Islam. Who will be, if I am putting the intelligent girls and boys, the intelligent children, for seeking religious education, for be a scholar in Quran, for be a scholar in hadith, for be a scholar in Islamic other fields of education, they will be different category. They will serve on another level. They will guide and they will lead the society in the right direction. So criticism is very easy to do, but look at our attitudes, what we are doing with Islam. Who are the custodians of religion? Who are the custodian of religious education? These people who are not having good IQ level, those who are not having, those who are coming from the lower sections of the society. If I am not sparing my children, if you are not sparing your children, if you are not preferring these fields of services for your children to seek, to learn, and then to disseminate in the future, then my criticism has no logic. Then I have no ground under my feet to criticize these people. They are serving. The amount of religious knowledge I have, the amount of religious knowledge you have, and the amount of religious practices we have in our society, that all is by the virtue of masjid, that all is by the virtue of madaris, that all is by the virtue of these ulama. Whatsoever level they are having, whatever the efforts they are making, right? So they are making efforts day in and day out. They are leading our prayers. They are teaching Quran to our children. They are guiding us regarding the other affairs of religion. If I want to inquire something about religion, about any affair of the religion, I have guidelines. They are always there to guide me according to my school of thought, according to your school of thoughts. School of thoughts are everywhere in all the fields of life, so that is not a bad thing, right? So point is this: our attitude toward religion, we need to review it. Who are the true custodians? We all are the custodians of religion. If the children from the higher social classes, from the top social classes, from the middle social classes, if they also pursue these fields of services, these fields of education, where they seek Quranic education, where they seek education regarding the hadith, where they seek education regarding the fiqh and its detail, and Islamic history and Islamic jurisprudence, then we will be able to train our nation, to teach our nation, to educate our nation in a better way, in a more comprehensive way, in a more effective way. What they are doing right now is good enough. We must appreciate, we must encourage them that within the limited resources, within the limited available resources, they are trying their best. They are bringing the best out of them, fine, but attitude needs to be revised, right? So we must think on these lines, that bring those people, bring that stuff for this service, who are more capable, who are with high level of intelligence, who are with more power to pursue it with more strength and to inspire the world and to create a new world for the Muslims where they are capable to fight all the challenges. Thank you so much.